Hey everyone, welcome back. And holy moly, well, the cycle continues. Bitcoin's down, the miners are down except for one. Trying to figure out what's going on with Mawson. It was up 22% today. We'll get into that. We'll look at Bitcoin, what's going on. We'll take a look at Ethereum as well. So let's get into the charts and then we'll call it a day. So obviously Bitcoin finished up pretty low today. It finished below our support here that we had at 47,000. You guys can see this here. This green line here, it's battling it right now as resistance, it looks like. It's at 47,000. We had this line drawn for quite a while. We've had, this line up here, which was our kind of in the middle of 48,000 line that we have here, 48,500 roughly. This hasn't been really playing out as well as our other line, which is about 50,000. And Bitcoin has been just kind of bouncing between these lines here like crazy over the last couple of days. So there's some news on Bitcoin, obviously, that we're going to get into as well, and we're going to talk about Ethereum as well. But right now, it looks like our next support line is at around 44,744, maybe 45,000, right around this range. So we came down pretty close to that. We were at 45,600. I think on the day we were pretty low. And we bounced off of it a little bit, but now we're just fighting with this resistance of our 47,000 line here. And if we can't muster the strength to get above it, I think we're going to be coming back down to the 44,800, 44,000 or 45,000 line, right around that. And after that, if this fails for support, we're coming down to possibly 40,000 here, which is our nice line here of support. So a couple of things going on. Obviously, the 50-day and the 20-day has crossed. We're now the 20-day is right there. Looks like we're almost also in accumulation phase right now based on where we've just been bouncing back and forth between. So we could be in that accumulation phase until such a time when the 20-day moving average comes down and we actually break above the 20-day average, and then we may see us run back up and then we might trade sideways for a while until the 20-day and the 50-day moving averages switch again. At that point, I think we'll be in a bull run again. But we'll have to see if that actually plays out this way. Right now, we're just battling for the 47,000 mark. If we can get above it, we'll be in good shape. If not, we're coming back down to the 45,000 mark right around here, 44,800. And if this doesn't hold, well, then we're going down to 40,000 probably. And there's some stories on that talk about that as well. So we'll get into those. But let's take a look at Ethereum here. So here's Ethereum. Ethereum broke past our support line of 4,000 roughly. It is now at 3,817. Obviously, it was a bad day for crypto all around for the most part. Stocks were down too, so were the mining stocks. So obviously, a lot of fear in the market right now based on the meeting of the Fed. Notes are coming out, I think, Wednesday, Thursday time frame. I can't remember exactly when they're coming out, but they're coming out, and I think there's a lot of fear in that the Fed is going to stop the tapering faster or ease tapering faster, and which is pulling basically stocks and Bitcoin down as well. But yeah, right now, we'll have to see if we can find another support line. Right now, our current support line could be on Ethereum, maybe right around the 3,600 mark. I don't see anything. We have a little bit here as well at around the 3,800. So we'll have to see where we end up with support on Ethereum. Okay, so let's take a look at Bitcoin here really quick. On the news, we'll get into the miners here shortly. And we'll talk about Mawson as well. So here's a story from Cointelegraph. Look out below, analysts eye 40,000. Like I've said, Bitcoin price after today's dip to 45.7. So I highlight the interesting parts on it. So on Monday, Bitcoin's short-term outlook worsened after the price fell to an intraday low at 45,672, a far cry from the weekend's promising rally of about 50,000. It looked promising over the weekend, but obviously we came back down. With the year nearly complete and all-time highs nearly 33% away, traders are most likely readjusting their expectations and pushing the 100,000 BTC target a bit further into 2022. So that's obviously not all that bad, right? If we can push it down into 2022, we may have a good 2022 year where we go up to new all-time highs, 100,000, 200,000, whatever it might be. And we may not be in this kind of a bear market where we've been in before after a halving event in Bitcoin. So this would actually be really good, I think, in my opinion. Continues on down here. So, I mean, obviously you saw it was pretty red all around. And then we get, on the daily time frame, we can see the price struggling to break away from the trend of the daily lower highs. And aside from the December 4 drop to 42, traders appear apprehensive to buy into the most recent dips. And we are seeing that. Tracking moving averages has always been a relative simple way to swing trade BTC. And currently, the 20-day moving average, the blue line on the chart here, is below the 50-day, which is I showed you on my chart as well. Some traders simply buy when the asset secures a few daily closes above the 20-day moving average and sell when the price falls below it, because this is a sign that the short-term trend is weakening. So I've talked about this a little bit. Following the practice, momentum traders might wait for BTC to secure daily close above the moving average at 53,000 before opening new long positions. I actually think that the price is going to probably fall below that, or the 20-day moving average is going to fall below that 53,000 mark that they have there. I think it's going to be closer to maybe 48, 47,000 before we cross above it on the charts here. More risk-averse traders might consider waiting for convergence between the 20 and the 50-day moving average as a clear sign of a trend reversal. Taking a quick look at the last year of price action proves that the strategy is pretty effective. And then down here, looking at the daily time frame, we can begin to see that what looks like the start of a head and shoulders pattern, the current dips and following consolidation could eventually complete the right shoulder with a neckline at 41,500 and a price target near a number so unbelievable low that it wouldn't be written here. So obviously they're saying that we could come back down, get it right around here, and then we would possibly fall even further down here to this line here, which would be probably closer to the 30,000, if not lower. So that would not be a good thing. Let's see here. At the moment, it's too early to make too much fuss about the existence of a head and shoulders pattern, especially since analysts of price action cannot be determined by a single indicator, but it is still something worth noting. And it is something that obviously you want to be prepared for. You want to look at the upside and you want to look at the downside as well. What are the possibilities of where things may end up? Data from on-chain analyst outlet WhaleMap also pinpoints the 40,000 level as an area to watch closely. While speaking to Cointelegraph, WhaleMap co-founder Andy Bohutsky said, basically, if we start closing the daily candles below the support outlined above, we will probably go to a lower one. The closest below us is right around the 40,000, and that's where we've seen the support. So you can see here the different heat maps. And then if we have, take a look at it here, on the daily time frame, the moving average convergence, divergence, MACD, and the relative strength index also are oversold, both of which have historically pointed to accumulation phases and good opportunities to dollar cost average into the fresh long positions, which is kind of what we pointed out here, that right now it just looks like we are, on Bitcoin at least, in this accumulation phase where we're just bouncing between these supports and resistance lines, and we'll see what actually pans out later on down the week, possibly into next week, before we may go up or we're going to go further down. So we'll have to see what happens there. Next one is Bitcoin price slips below 47 stocks. Crypto prepare for this week's FOMC meeting. So Bitcoin, altcoin, and stocks sharply sold off as pressure builds ahead of this week's FOMC meeting and the possibility that the Fed will taper its easy money policies. So that is obviously one FUD that's going around right now. So Bitcoin bulls are once again on the defensive foot after the breakout momentum that the price above 50,000 on the weekend evaporated and pulled the price under 47,000. Analysts say the slight pullback in equities markets and the upcoming Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, meeting are the primary reasons for December 13th pullback, and a few suggest that a revisit to the swing low at 42,000 could be on the cards. And I do agree with that. It could be on the cards. We'll have to see how obviously things play out. The Fed tapering talks put pressure on the market. The current headwinds facing BTC are in large part being influenced by regulatory matters in the United States, as highlighted in the recent report from Delphi Digital, which noted that the latest tightening by the global policymakers and Fed tapering has already caused markets to reprice. Delphi Digital said the BTC is among one of the worst performing assets compared to traditional assets classes since the November FOMC meeting, losing nearly 20% of its value over the last month. While the latest downturn in testing will of many traders who hold out hope that this is just another shakeout before the price heads higher, cryptocurrency analyst and I have a hard time with that word. Twitter user Crypto Capo offered some hope after posting the following chart comparing the current price action to the price dump that we've seen back in September. So you see here, he's pointing to this correction number 1, correction number 2. Capo said the following: these two corrections are very similar. Same three-wave move pattern, some bottom formation, 3 touches. Same funding plus premium negative rates. Same hidden bearish divergence before the last leg down. So, and then we have one from Van de Pope here. Van de Pope said, looks to me as if we were looking for a bullish divergence to be created beneath the 46.5K area in order to have a reversal possible. So obviously a lot of people are still very optimistic about the correction here, that this is just a shakeout. And then the final word of reassurance was provided by market analyst and synonym Twitter user Rect Capital, who posted the following chart and noted that BTC downside wicking below the red weekly support area has happened many times in the past or in circles. So you can see it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've had it 7 times. Rect Capital indicated this recent dip is par for the course and is nothing to be too concerned about in the long run. Long term, he said, this is a sort of downside volatility at these prices levels is nothing out of the ordinary. So there you have it. Some quick news on that. Obviously, we'll see where Bitcoin price ends up, but we do want to be cautious about the potential going down to 40,000. But we may also be in a spot where we may end up higher. So a lot of unknowns right now in the market for Bitcoin. So let's take a look at the mining stocks here. So everybody was down today. Obviously, DMG was down 5.5%. Riot was down 6.2%. Mawson, the only exception, was up 22%. We'll get into Mawson here in a little bit. Marathon was down 8.9%. Hut 8 down 7.18%. DigiHost was down 2.4%, Hive was down 4.17%, CleanSpark was down 8.79%, and Bitfarms was down 9.32%. So let's take a look at Mawson here. So I tried my hardest to figure out why was Mawson pumping today. I checked the Yahoo Finance, the conversations area over there. Nothing is being posted about it. Nothing, no news, no nothing. So this is kind of strange a little bit. So if we look at it, we can see that, I mean, the volume was good today. It was better than it has been in the past. But other than that, there really wasn't anything that would have triggered this. There was no, analyst coverage initiated or anything like that with a buy rating or anything like that. So it was just really weird. I looked at the institutions. The institutions didn't change at all. Financials didn't change. No news came out. Looked at corporate actions to see if there's any insider activity. Didn't see anything there. Order flow, nothing, no large-scale orders in the last 5 days. So it's just really strange. So if you guys know what's going on, why it was pumping so hard, I came up with maybe a couple of reasons why it was. One of the reasons was either institutions are buying. Obviously, we don't get the report on that for a while. So either some institutions were buying it. Number 2, they got miners, basically received miners to be installed, and they got a lot of them, and people knew about it and started trading it. Or I have no idea. I'm clueless as to why it was going up. Maybe it was oversold. I mean, if you look at the chart here, it doesn't look like it was extremely oversold. I mean, it's done nothing different than some of the other stocks here in the past couple of weeks that we've seen. Let me see if I can find a trend line. Oh, let's take a look here really quick. Let's see if we can draw something. I mean, we are down almost, well, we were down, at least in the 40 days, we're down almost 60% on it. So that could be a reason for it. But we've seen this in other ones. We've seen this in Hut 8. Hut 8 was down massively as well. If we look at it here from its high here down to its low, it was down 50%. So it wasn't down as much, but it was still down 60%. So I have no idea what was causing it. If you guys have any insight into that, I would greatly appreciate it. Leave a comment down below as far as what was causing Mawson to pump today. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Be cautious out there. Obviously, the market is crazy right now. We'll have to see what the Fed says later on this week after their meeting and their tapering. We'll see how Bitcoin reacts to it. And we'll keep you guys covered. Have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Helps me out a lot. That's all I got for you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.